can a reader vicariously, or maybe not even vicariously, experience the awe of the children at the mountain? I am inclined to say yes. I mean, you need an imagination. I mean, you don't need Charlton Heston and Cecil B. DeMille, but you need something of an imagination to put yourself in this place. I mean, that's partly the spirit in which I like to read. I try to imagine myself along on the journey. Not, by the way, as Moses, but as one of the assembled. And by the way, there's a wonderful ambiguity right after the Decalogue is pronounced. I don't have it exactly verbatim, but it says, we have the text, we could look it up. The people saw the thunder. And the commentators are, of course, at pains to say, well, saw means generally perceived. But I want to say this was a phantasmagoric experience in which all of the senses are simply overwrought and overwhelmed. And they don't know what they saw, and they don't know what they heard, and they heard this, and they saw the sounds, and they heard the sights, and it was, and they trembled, and they stood afar off, and they said, "You, Moses, you talk to us." It's quite possible they didn't hear a thing. Right? It's quite possible that in terms about the text, it was a wash, that they were so overawed by the experience. And yet we the readers are able, in fact, to, and one more thing, I've got to create the enactment. Before God speaks these words, there is this funny shuttling up and down the mountain in chapter 19. Are you up there? Come here, go down. And you don't know, and Moses said is the way the last chapter 19 ends, and you don't know what he said, and you don't know whether what he said is what followed. The reader is himself put into a state of a kind of confusion about where is Moses, who is talking, why does God change from the first person singular to the third person? Is that Moses? Is very strange. So we are somewhat disoriented here, and yet out of this imaginary, somewhat disquieting experience, a voice from out of the text addresses us, if we have ears to still listen, and addresses us in ways that partly depend upon our vicariously gone this journey with the ex-slaves, but partly appealing to us as individuals with minds and hearts who could be moved by what we are summoned to think and do. So that, and this really bowled me over when I noticed it the first time, we are told to pay attention because I, the Lord, am your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. I am your God because I did this for you there, right? Pure historical contingent relation. But now I ask you to keep my Sabbath because of something that doesn't depend on any historical parochial human event, but depends upon something before, well, not quite before, but before there was more than the creation of the human beings in the first place. And this is a universal possibility accessible to anybody, whether they came out of Egypt or not. And I'm in awe of the text. And I can't believe it. I mean, I really can't believe that it's speaking to me and that I'm allowing it to speak to me and that it's doing to me what it's doing to me. I'm not trembling. Maybe I should be trembling. And that's an interesting question that one could ask about whether being impressed by the wisdom of the text has certain necessary implications for practice and observance and the like. But I think one can have this kind of experience from the text. I would say that on more than one occasion I've had it.